when I think of the '95 Rumble, I think of the culture change in the new generation. It is it's weird to me that the year 1995 is one of the worst years in the WWF. Yet this was kind of a hidden gem. The year kind of started off right with me. The Rumble was a good show to me. I thought this event took place on January 24th, 1995. Oh, excuse me, 22nd. I'm sorry. The Dark Match Buck Quartermain defeated the Brooklyn Brawler. Pamela Anderson arrived. And you had the whole thing, which I kind of understand. You know, Pam Anderson, late 90s. Whew, big deal. Uh, Opening match was Jeff Jarrett against Razor Ramon for the Intercontinental title. Jeff Jarrett defeated Razor Ramon to win the title. This gets 3.75 out of 5 stars for me. I love the ring psychology for Jeff Jarrett. I loved how he was working on the leg, and it was originally a count out, and then he called Razor a chicken and did a whole bunch of other stuff and said, Razor, come on back in here. You're too much of a chicken. You're this, you're that, you're a coward. Razor came back in. Jeff Jarrett ended up winning with a small package. I loved it. I thought it was great. Um, Todd Pettengill interviewed Pamela Anderson a couple of times throughout the night. There was one time where she was changing and he was shy to go over there. It was a whole big thing. Um, Stephanie Wayne uh, interviewed Jeff Jarrett. The Undertaker took on IRS. This match, I'm gonna give it a star just because of what happened after the post match. Um, with setting up Undertaker and King Kong Bundy, and the urn getting stolen. But overall, the match itself was kind of a dud. But I like how they were getting ready for WrestleMania 11 and were setting things up. And overall, though, they did pretty good. King Kong Bundy attacked The Undertaker. Todd Pettengill interviewed Diesel and Bret Hart. Then you have, which to me is one of the best individual non-Rumble matches. And my second favorite match of Diesel's career, my favorite match with Diesel actually took place with Bret Hart at Survivor Series the same year in '95. This match gets 4.5 stars, an absolute masterpiece. The only reason to me that it doesn't get 5 is because it was a non-finish. The match ended in a draw. I like how both of the guys were wrestling. Owen came out and attacked Bret, and I think the referee was Hebner, and he allowed it. And then Shawn came out and attacked Diesel, and he allowed it. And then towards the end, though, it didn't make sense to me that they had allowed it. And then they said the ref could not keep control of the action, and it kind of just got out of hand. Anyway, I like how the match was. It told a great story. And for a minute, even though I knew Diesel was going to win, I was invested. And I really thought Bret was going to win. And when Bret didn't, I was like, dang, I really thought Bret was going to win. So it was quite a process. I thought it was a very, very good match, per se. Um, Next, you had Stephanie Wayne interview Bob Holly and 123 Kid. 123 Kid and Bob Holly ended up beating Tonka and Bam Bam Bigelow. This gets 3.25 stars to win the vacant WWF title, tag team titles. I loved this. I thought the tag match was good. It kind of told a David versus Goliath story, and it was funny. They were actually talking about Super Bowl 29 at the time and how the Chargers, it was kind of the Chargers against the 49ers. Of course, the 49ers would end up slacking the Chargers in that Super Bowl, but they were kind of talking, as if Bob Holly and 123 Kid were the Chargers and Bam Bam and Tatanka were the 49ers because the 49ers were a dynasty in the 90s. But I like how they were kind of trying to tie in the NFL references. It was pretty cool the way that they did that. And then Bam Bam Bigelow and Lawrence Taylor had a confrontation, which set up their match at WrestleMania 11. So a whole bunch of long-term planning, which is why I like this event so much. They were really kind of pushing towards WrestleMania 11, even if Mania 11 wasn't all that good. They were trying to tell stories, which is what you're supposed to do in wrestling. You're supposed to tell a good story. Then they showed a '94 highlights from the Rumble match. What I like and dislike about this Rumble, I hate that it was 1 minute intervals. That is too short. I tried to get into the match and another guy would come in, another guy would come in, another guy would come in. To me, you have to have some structure. I think 90 seconds is the perfect time. 2 minutes is too long to me. But I love how they had British Bulldog and Shawn start out. I know they did it again in '99 with McMahon and Austin, but they weren't in the ring the whole time. These guys were kind of in the ring, and then you would have 28 other guys come in. You know, notable guys like Owen, Bob Backlund, Lex Luger, and Backlund and Owen lasted a combined 20 seconds because they were both attacked by Bret Hart, which goes back to uh, Owen caused Bret a shot at WrestleMania, so Bret came in and had Owen get eliminated in 3 seconds. Which him and Mo both lasted 3 seconds. Shawn and British Bulldog both lasted 38 minutes, 41 seconds, which was the match time. Yes, the Royal Rumble match was 38 minutes. Think about that. That is absolutely absurd to me that it was that short. Anyway, most eliminations was Shawn Michaels with 8 eliminations. This match itself was not a very, very star power match. There was realistically, going into it, maybe 4 guys that could have won. Michaels, Bulldog, Owen, or Lex Luger. And the only real guy that made sense at the time was Shawn. And it was Dark Horse. But I think the right decision was made ultimately in the end. And I do think that the right guy came out on top, and it was a great booking decision overall to have Shawn Michaels win the match. He would ultimately go on to WrestleMania 11 and lose to Diesel, though. So I guess they wanted to wait on another year for his coronation of sorts. Because, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen 96, he wins it again in 96. So, but that time he would go on to WrestleMania and win. Like I said, you know, this is crazy to me. Looking at the Rumble lineup, the amount of guys, there was hardly no talent going on there, and it was absolute absurd to me that there was literally no talent in this Rumble whatsoever, outside of a couple of guys. But yeah, that was just the state of the WWF at the time, and it's something that needs a whole nother video about it. Is the WWF in 1995? It's they've come a long way in 25 years. But as always, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, turn on the post notifications. We'll be covering the Royal Rumble 1996, trying to get the rest of these Rumbles out before the 2020 Rumble. So hope you guys enjoyed. That's going to be all for me in this episode. I'll see y'all in the 96 review. Peace. I'm out.